So I think on the heels of consolidation, we are now getting into simplification. Once we've gone through this consolidation effort and we've simplified things, what advantages can you glean from that? And I think for me, the impact of simplifying your tech stack can have significant financial advantages, by eliminating data silos, where data is not flowing from, between departments, there's a lack of communication, and we've kind of had this information trapped in one place or another. When we eliminate those, we ensure like improved communication, visibility, and more effectively coordinated projects. Every single organization from small subcontractors, large GCs, across the board, kind of spanning the gamut, they want to run projects more effectively. And by eliminating data silos, you can do that, you can achieve that. I think improved communication and visibility, are two elements that can have significant financial advantages by the way of improved margins and project success. So to me, like it all comes down to, financial success and how can we achieve greater success financially on a project. And the simplification process of ensuring we have robust communication systems that are talking to one another, we're helping the organization out as a whole and eliminating gaps or data silos, you can get to that end goal, which I think is kind of everyone's striving for. Guy, what's your take here on the impact, of simplifying your tech stack?
Yeah, I think, the construction industry has long been described as, technology laggard and underinvesting, but the fact remains that it's a relatively fine margin business, and the construction industry is great at building buildings. It's less good at building integrations. It's less good at building software. It's less good at building, technology stacks, right? And so significant benefits, right? The ability to reduce the number of systems that need integrations can be, a removal of a significant burden from software departments with construction companies. Thereafter, better access to data. The construction industry is definitely looking for better insights from the data, not necessarily more data. And so how do you improve the quality of the data that you're currently getting? And, there's a huge benefit from looking at not just better data, but looking at the relationships between data. So there are workflows that are very complementary, but when they stay siloed, you don't necessarily get the benefit of understanding what one is telling you. A prime example here is, an individual craft worker shows up on a time card, and that's great. The foreman did a time card for that person. That's super powerful. But over here in their safety management platform or their safety form solution, the foreman is doing, or maybe not doing, toolbox talks or JHAs or pre-task briefings. And actually, it's incredibly important for a construction company to understand, is this foreman doing the time card at the same time as they're doing their toolbox talk? Are we compliant with internal processes? And typically the only way someone's going to identify that if they're in two different systems is by sort of putting them two side by side and comparing them together. And if they're not integrated, if they don't have data overlap between the two of them, it becomes very much more difficult to identify areas of process misalignment or non-compliance. And those things can be deadly. They can be hugely expensive when things go wrong. So the quality of the data, the relationships between the data start to really pop when you have that stuff in fewer solutions where you can see the relationships, you can see the trends. And, all of this sort of stuff, whether it's AI, big data, machine learning, all the buzzwords that we hear, they're all predicated on sort of access to clean, labeled, structured data. And ultimately having fewer systems makes that whole process much more achievable for a construction company.